My students kept killing every plant in sight, so I brought one that fights back. It wasn't malice. 7th graders don't wake up plotting botanical genocide. They just exist at a frequency that demolishes anything fragile. 3 succulents died in September alone. Overwatered, underwatered, knocked off the windowsill during an impromptu hallway race that somehow migrated into my classroom. The fern lasted 2 weeks before someone's backpack sent it sprawling. Even the supposedly indestructible snake plant looked haggard by October. The Venus flytrap arrived on a Monday morning in late October, small and unassuming in its plastic nursery pot. I didn't announce it, didn't make it a teaching moment or launch into some prepared lesson about responsibility, just placed it on the corner of my desk where the light hit just right, tucked between my coffee mug and the stack of ungraded quizzes. 15 minutes into first period, Darius noticed. "Miss, what's that?" I glanced up from taking attendance. "A plant. It looks weird." He leaned closer, squinting at the tiny green mouths bristling with trigger hairs. "It eats bugs." The room went silent. 28 faces swiveled toward my desk like I just announced we were canceling finals. Even Brianna, who'd spent 3 months perfecting the art of seeming completely disengaged while still technically present, looked up from her phone. "For real?" Darius moved closer, more cautious now, like the plant might snap at his finger. "For real. Flies mostly. Sometimes spiders. Anything small enough to trigger the trap." "That's messed up," someone whispered from the back row. Over the next week, that plant did something I couldn't. It made them careful. They'd cluster around it before class, backpack still on, watching its jaw like leaves with the kind of focused attention I'd been trying to command all semester, waiting for movement. Darius brought a dead fly from the windowsill on Wednesday, held it above the largest trap with tweezers he'd borrowed from the science lab. "Will it close?" "Try it." The leaf snapped shut in less than a second. Someone gasped. Even Kenji, who I'd sent to the principal twice for sleeping through entire lessons, started showing up early just to check on it. They named it Audrey by Friday, after some movie I'd never seen. Started asking questions unprompted. How long does it take to digest? What if we feed it something too big? Can it bite us? Does it have a brain? I'm not naive enough to think a carnivorous plant solved my classroom management issues overnight. Brianna still scrolls through social media when she thinks I'm not looking. Kenji still falls asleep during Thursday afternoons, head down on his desk by the 3rd period. But something shifted, something fundamental. They started asking if they could bring in fruit flies from home, researched care instructions on their phones during lunch without being assigned homework. Darius, who'd turned in maybe 4 assignments all year, wrote his first complete essay in November, 3 pages on carnivorous plant evolution, complete with hand-drawn diagrams. "Why'd you really bring it?" Brianna asked one afternoon, staying after class while everyone else stampeded toward the buses. "Honestly, I was tired of cleaning up dead plants." She smiled, the first real one I'd seen from her all semester. "It's working. Here's what I learned. You can't force 7th graders to care. Can't lecture them into giving a damn about anything, including their own education. But give them something that requires attention, something that demands respect not through fragility but through its own strange power. That's different. That's something they can understand." The Venus flytrap is still alive, still sits on my desk, catching whatever insects wander into room 212. My students still forget their homework, still talk over me sometimes, still exist in that chaotic frequency that defines middle school. But every morning, someone checks on Audrey first, makes sure the soil's damp, counts how many traps are open. They're learning something I never explicitly taught them, that care isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, paying attention, understanding what something needs to survive. Maybe that's what they needed all along. Not another fragile thing to accidentally destroy, but something resilient, something that fights back.